Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Krenkoth YouTube channel. I'm John, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the new spoilers from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Most of these cards are from the reveal stream for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, however one of them was in an email from Wizards of the Coast. Starting it off, we have Kaito Shizuki, the new blue-black Planeswalker. Kaito Shizuki is a 1 blue-black legendary Planeswalker Kaito that enters battlefield with 3 loyalty. At the beginning of your end step, if Kaito Shizuki entered the battlefield this turn, he phases out. +1, draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. -2, create a 1/1 blue ninja creature token with this creature can't be blocked. -7, you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So Kaito is a 3-mana, 3 loyalty Planeswalker that basically is guaranteed to live a turn after you play him. Most likely, you're going to be playing this card in a tempo deck. If you're playing this in another blue-black deck, most likely control, or it really is not that great. Putting him down on 3, you most likely don't have any way to protect him, and he's probably just going to either loot a couple times or make a 1/1 and then draw you a card. Either way, that is just not very good. If you play him late in a control deck, he might get you some value, but really he just doesn't have the impact or game-closing ability that you want in a control deck, and most likely you would just rather be playing a Planeswalker with more abilities, or at least game-winning abilities. As you might have been able to tell, this card is specifically for ninjas. The +1 draws you a card basically every time if you're playing ninjas because you want to be attacking and you have evasive creatures, and the -2 gives you an evasive creature to either get in for damage so you can draw cards, or to ninjutsu stuff with. The -7 is not very helpful in a tempo deck, because if you've gotten to a -7, then you're either definitely going to win the game, or you're definitely going to lose the game. It's not most likely going to be a close matchup on turn 8 if you're playing an aggressive ninjas tempo deck. The next card that got spoiled is Atsushi, the Blazing Sky, and this is 2 red for a 4/4 legendary creature, Dragon Spirit with flying and trample. It also says when Atsushi, the Blazing Sky dies, choose 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Or create 3 treasure tokens. So this is just another 4-mana 4/4 dragon. I don't know if it's going to have a home, really, because it just doesn't seem as good as the other 4-mana 4/4 dragons that we're getting in basically every set now. Between Moonveil Regent, Manaform Hellkite, Leyline Tyrant, and I guess Goldspan Dragon is 5 mana, but that also is competing for the same slot. Atsushi doesn't have that relevant of abilities. Trample is nice, but it's not very helpful, because if you're beating down with dragons in the air, most likely you will not be needing Trample. The Dice Trigger is nice to have, but I honestly would really rather just be playing a Moonveil Regent, where I could cycle my hand, or a Manaform Hellkite, where I can be making more dragons. The next card they spoiled was Hidetsugu, Devouring Chaos. Hidetsugu is 3 and a black for a 4/4 legendary creature, Ogre Demon. You can pay a black and sacrifice a creature to scry to, and you can pay 2 and a red and tap him to exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a non-land card this way, Hidetsugu Devouring Chaos deals damage equal to the exiled card's mana value to any target. So this is really only going to see play in Rakdos decks, because if you're playing mono black, you're going to be having much better sack outlets than a 4-mana 4/4 that you can pay 1 and sack creature to scry to. But once you get that 3-mana ability into the mix, then things get a little more interesting. This card still doesn't seem great, because if you're paying 3 mana to get the top card of your library, you're going to have a hard time casting that card. This card is most likely basically only for Commander, because I do not see any way that this would be seeing play in really any constructed format, because it just does not seem as good as Skullport Merchant. However, in Commander, this card does seem like a fun red-black sacrifice deck, though there are a lot of those, so it still might not be very interesting. But Wizards of the Coast definitely thinks it will be interesting, because they decided, you know what, we're going to give this card and this card only 4. Yes, 4 alternate art neon foiling process. I'm not sure if this was a test for this foiling process, or if it was just they thought this card was going to be really cool, but either way, this card is the only card in the set that has it, and I don't really see this card seeing much play. However, these promos look really awesome, so that might actually make the card see quite a bit of play. The way you get these cards is pretty weird too. The yellow one can only be gotten at local game stores as a promotional item. The other three can only be had in collector's boosters, and they are extremely rare. The last thing that we saw during the reveal stream were the new full art lands that we have been getting a lot of, but these ones look really awesome. They are actually the first basic lands in Magic to not have any English writing on them. So I would assume that the Japanese writing says plains, mountain, swamp, etc. But I don't know. Maybe Wizards has some kind of cool message that they wrote with these. You don't have to worry about knowing what the card is, though, because it does have a large mana symbol in the top left corner, as you can see on screen. There is still one more card that we need to talk about, and that is Satoru Umezawa. Satoru is 1 blue-black for a 2/4 legendary creature human ninja. When you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This ability triggers only once each turn. It also says each creature in your hand has ninjutsu for 2 blue-black. This basically confirms that the blue-black archetype is going to be ninjutsu, which I will be excited to play in Standard, as well as getting some new cards for Historic. This card, however, is probably going to be an extremely fun card to play in Commander, as a blue-black just cheat stuff into play deck sounds pretty cool. That is everything that we know so far. Hopefully you liked this video, in which case, give it a like. If you really like this video and want to see more stuff just like this, consider subscribing, because then you can get a notification every time I post a video. I have videos like this, as well as stuff like tutorials and other stuff, possibly gameplay videos in the future. So if you are interested in any of that, please subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you know whenever I post a new video. That is everything from me, so I will see you in the next video.